Hi guys, and welcome back to Nail on Sunday podcast with me, Chris, and my wife, who is straight out of Comfyville, Rebecca. Hi, honey. I almost said the other one. Hi, honey.
Hi.
How the heck are you? It's nice to be back in the pod studio. For everybody who doesn't know, like, we pump out these podcasts for free every single week. Laura and Safira, well, they just skip the odd week and stuff like that. We skipped recording them last week, but we've got tons in the bank. So it's fine.
We are, if nothing else, reliable. If you and I say we're going to do something, we goddamn do it.
Well, let me stop you right there, because we said we'd record 2 podcasts today. But I've realised, because I came into work at 7:30 this morning to edit the other podcast, because I couldn't do it at home with the dogs because they like to paw me to get my attention and such like, that my computer, my bubble, has 10% battery. So that's probably about enough to do one podcast.
Oh, excellent.
So, anyway.
You can't go and get a cable?
Oh, that's far too much work. Again,
well, then we'll need to come in tomorrow to film one.
I'm just going to say something, guys. Again, back in the pod studio, we've been out here for a couple of weeks, and they're now starting to move the furniture. The rest of the staff, they're moving the furniture.
I don't know why they've moved the furniture, but
I know exactly why, because they need more space over that side for that new thing. But that's another story for another day.
Well,
This week's pod is all about nail news. It's funny that, because that's what Nail on Sunday should have been originally.
It should.
We kind of just got,
sidetracked?
Off topic.
Yeah, so I think we're going to try and do this maybe once a month, like talk about what's hot. What's hot right now?
Okay, Paris Hilton. What's hot and what's trending on social media and in the news for the nail industry. So we're going to take it from different sources every time.
Yeah.
Okay, honey, let's do the obligatory. And we can't tell anyone what we've been up to this week.
I know.
What have we been up to this week?
Honestly, it's just been crazy for you and I recently. We haven't had any days off, minutes off, nothing. It's just been ridiculous. It's been both of our birthdays. Didn't have days off. Yes, we went away for an overnight for my birthday, but we left halfway through the working day and then returned halfway through the working day.
We were technically for 24 hours.
I guess that technically means that, but we were working.
I
was working on the way there.
It was a 2.5 hour drive. So working on the way there, we got there, we're still doing some work and then come back. I know it sounds stupid. You guys are probably thinking, well, that's not good work-life balance. You're right.
The thing is, when you're really trying to grow something, you just can't have a good work-life balance, I don't think. When you're like, you're not trying to grow anymore, you're just trying to kind of...
You know what? It's like a diet. So when you're trying to hit like a target weight, you will go to the gym, you will starve yourself and all that
You
sort of stuff.
You've got to put the work in.
But when you get to that target weight, it's about maintenance. And that's...
I mean, arguably maintenance is a lot harder than putting on or losing weight. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's like maintaining is a lot easier in general, in business anyway. But, oh God, it's just crazy.
There's been lots going on.
Been doing DIY till like 9:30 at night. And just to put that into context, Chris and I usually go to bed at 8:30. So, I mean...
The thing is, we can't really tell you what's going on because it's not... We don't want to jinx it. Is that a Scottish word or is that just a word? Jinx?
It's just a word.
So we don't want to jinx it, so we can't say too much, but you can probably guess already. But we will tell you what we have done this week. We took some time out of the office to drive across to Edinburgh, which is a pain in the ass to get to. It must be the 2 closest cities that are the hardest to get to.
So inaccessible. Edinburgh is just so goddamn inaccessible.
It's what, 40 miles away? 60? 40? 35?
I don't think it's even that. They're probably 20-something miles away.
And it's connected by a dual carriageway. And if you don't know what a dual carriageway is, if you're maybe, I don't know, from a country where they don't have dual carriageways, it's basically 2 lanes on either side of the road. The thing is, you've got trucks commuting left and right. You've got people commuting left and right. You've got even bicycles I've seen on the motorway the other day, they're commuting left and right. And you can't go anywhere fast. It just takes such a long time. Then you get to Edinburgh and it's more potholes than bloody New York.
Edinburgh city centre, which is always inevitably where you need to go, is it's like a fortress.
Yeah, it's like a castle actually.
Funny and getting to the centre of it. Mm-hmm. Do you know what just came to my mind?
Tell me.
A sperm trying to fertilise an egg.
Yes, we were the sperm trying to fertilise
the
egg.
We really were trying to get to the middle, and it's an arduous task.
It's hard. It's hard.
There's no like bypass that bypasses all of that.
Well, there is. It's called the Edinburgh City Bypass, but it bypasses the whole city, and you kind of just want to get close to the city.
Yeah, it's just a joke.
Anyway, the reason we're there is Dakota, the dog, had a hip replacement, 6 months ago. We've spoken about this in the pod recently, where we think he might have another dodgy hip. we were hoping to get away with it. We took him to an appointment at Edinburgh because we thought that's much easier than travelling 4 miles down south.
4 miles?
4 hours down south. It would have been easier just to drive to England, if I'm honest with you, probably.
Probably. Especially when we got there and they were like, yeah, we're going to send you back there.
Yeah, basically we got there and they were like, you're better off just going back to England because they can do it slightly better.
He's the specialist.
Turns out it doesn't technically need one.
It's like, good news, question mark?
Yeah, so we did scans.
At the beginning of the appointment, it was like, right, okay, yeah, so it's probably best that he goes back down south to get this other hip replaced. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
and as you guys can imagine, like there's so much going on that you probably don't even imagine.
You don't even know how much is going on. Hopefully we'll be able to say soon, but so much going on. And we're like, how the hell are we going to fit this into
Today we're launching a brand new tan. It's wild.
There is no tan. We are not launching a tan. So yeah, and we were like, right, okay. But they came up with a plan that maybe we could do some sort of shared care where they would do the x-rays and everything to get his measurements for this new hip replacement and send it to the guy down south and kind of like a shared care. Anyway, we left him to get his x-rays. By the time we came back, they were like, yeah, we don't think that he needs this other one done.
So his hip's a little bit dodgy, but nowhere near as bad as the other one. And it's not got any worse since the last scans he was on. So we just need to alter his medication and or alter his exercise routine. So we're just adapting our life to suit this goddamn puppy many times over.
Mm-hmm.
But that's enough about us today. So, honey, shall we just get on going with this? Because we can't really talk about anything else.
Yeah, we can't, can we?
Everything's so top secret. I feel like when I see customers coming into the shop, sometimes there's customers, you guys know, like sometimes you guys come into the shop and I'm like, hey, yo, and I come in and talk to you. I can't physically do that anymore. I can't because I'll leak something. And there's so much going on.
Yeah, usually we don't mind leaking some like new colours and silly things like new cuticle oil scents, whatever. But when it's the things that we're talking about right now,
crazy.
We just can't. It's just too big a project. This goddamn fruit fly, he's always here.
Oh, is that the one from last year?
He's just always here. He just lives here.
He lives here, yeah. Call him Boris.
He's very irritating.
He is because he always flies in your line of sight. And I just want to look into your eyes.
Oh, I see.
Honey, you're looking very pretty today.
Really?
Yeah. That spot on your forehead is really popping.
Wow.
No, see,
Do you know what I was looking at this morning in the mirror? My Harry Potter scar that I now have.
Yes.
And it's really prominent and it's never disappearing and it's a proper hardcore scar.
Why is it Harry Potter? Does it look like Harry Potter? Is it an H?
No. The Harry Potter has a scar on his forehead, a lightning scar.
Is that him?
Oh, Jesus.
Chris
knows nothing about Harry Potter.
Oh, no, but I was going to say that you look like that guy that's got the lightning thing. I didn't realise that was HP. HP from Scooter. Get it? No?
Don't know what that means.
Scooter, back in the UK.
Who's HP?
That's the main guy. That does
anyway, this is too much.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about nail news and let's just go for it.
Okay.
Nail techs are scammers.
Yeah. So you're like, what is this?
So I've got these headlines. Rebecca said, read the headlines and I'll tell you all about it. So that's exactly what I'm doing.
Because Chris isn't in like TikTok at all.
I just film with TikTok and then I go to put it in TikTok and then Rebecca says, you can't put that on TikTok. And then sometimes I might.
But you don't scroll TikTok.
Don't have time for it.
Chris scrolls Instagram Reels, which I think is really weird. Like, who scrolls Instagram Reels?
The funny thing is, honey, I don't even have time for that anymore.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I'm honest with you, who I follow on Instagram, like Formula One and stuff like that, it shows you that type of reels. So that's kind of what I'm into. Whereas with TikTok, it shows you, I don't know, puppies, baking.
Things you've shown an interest in prior.
Faro and ball, flipping paint.
Oh, God. Anyway, yes, nail techs are scammers. This is a conversation that is doing the rounds on TikTok.
And if I'm honest with you, yeah, you're all scammers.
Oh, how's that?
I don't know, honey. I'm just thinking of the thumbnail for this one.
So,
Techs are scammers.
I don't know if I've seen the actual original video, but I think I might have. Anyway, it comes from this girl saying that nail techs are scammers and essentially saying like it's ridiculous that nail techs are charging 35, 40, 45, 50 pounds for a set of nails when such and such down the road is charging 17. So I kind of fell down this rabbit hole and then I don't know if this girl was the one that originally did the video, but I was so shook by what I saw in this video. I didn't really know what to do with myself, quite honestly. So she was like, nail techs are scammers, trying to find like the cheap places, blah, blah, blah. Went down the high street. Now, she went to a non-standard salon. The filth I saw with my eyes in this salon, I cannot believe. It was almost like rage bait. If I hadn't seen like the background and realised that if this is just a non-standard salon, I'd be like, that is rage bait. I need to try. I really hope that it comes back around so that I can screenshot it and put it on put it on the screen right now so you guys can see if you're watching YouTube. I've never seen nail lamps like it. Now, our girls in our salon, they were a bit of a nightmare, and as a result, I replaced the lamps like every 3 months. Talked about this before.
You're saying about, like, do you mean actually physically unclean?
Physically unclean.
All right, okay.
The unclean. Like,
piles of dust.
No, just caked in gel and dirt. The handle of the e-file that this woman was using was like, I don't know how many layers deep of gel. And she was using it without gloves as well.
Really?
So she must be, honestly, the contact dermatitis situation in this place it's got to be real.
Because I mean, the non-standard salons, for the most part, I think, or at least I remember walking by the window and seeing them, usually do wear masks and gloves because they're just,
to be fair, yeah.
They're there all day, just, you know.
No, there was no glove.
Right, okay.
I need to try and find it. I will do my best to try and find it.
Was this girl in the UK?
Yeah, London,
Wow.
I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So she was trying to prove a point, like going to lots of different places where she could get her nails done for cheap. And she was like, just rating it. And she was like, 10 out of 10. Everything was 10 out of 10. I was like, did you see what you just put your hand inside? Like, I really wish I had the video here just to show you right now.
Yeah, but the thing with that is people, like, they don't care.
How could, no, this wasn't,
they only see the happy ending. That's all it is, honey. They don't care about the process. They just get to the end. It's like most people don't think where the clothes are made, for example, you know?
But when you can physically see it right in front of you. I went through all the comments and people were like, that's just tools used over and over again, never clean, same sanding band on every single customer. You can see it. You can literally see it. It's like, if you clearly don't have any concern for your own health and safety. Although saying that, the people that go to this and are like, yeah, 10 out of 10, look how cheap it was, are the exact same people that would kick up an absolute fuss if they got some sort of infection. They're
the first person to like, I'll be suing you and all this sort of stuff, you know.
For sure.
Whereas regular people just don't have time or wouldn't even think of that. You know, yeah, you're right. Those are the people who instantly go to those no win, no fee lawyer type things and be like, yeah, I've got this infection, it's from them, you know.
So I think this whole video came originally, a girl was suggesting, £17 is what you should be paying for set nails because that's how much she paid down the road. And it's like, how are you making a living? Let's just think how long it takes to do that set of nails, right? Say it takes an hour. A lot of people are a lot more than an hour these days. So you're talking £17 an hour without taking into consideration any overheads and any product cost. Obviously, we've got our brand new pricing calculator, which will help you work out all of this and how much it costs you to do a treatment, and I highly recommend you go and do it. I had a conversation with a nail tech the other day, and she'd actually messaged in to say, oh, your app's saying that I'm overcharging. And we're like, well, excellent. If you're overcharging and you're getting those prices, then that's great. Good for you. You carry on doing that. But when I looked into it, it turned out that the amount that she put in that she wanted to earn was less than minimum wage, or around bang on minimum wage.
Right, okay.
And I was like, but you need to be worth more than that. So it was working out, I think, I can't remember if it was working out $12.50 to begin with or $12.50 after she changed it. I can't remember either way.
Like per treatment?
£12.50 an hour.
An hour, sorry.
And I'm like, your time is worth so much more than that. The stress of being self-employed, just the training that you've done, everything. You could get more than £12.50 working in a supermarket with no skill or experience required.
I think a lot of people struggle with the thought process on money. We've discussed money in this podcast before. I think a lot of it is a lot of people are just selfish. They want the money, but they also don't want to spend the money on other things.
This is
true.
So
they want paid £20 an hour, but they don't want to go pay £20 for a set of nails that's taken an hour to do.
Well, £20?
Yeah.
For a set of nails?
Yeah. They don't want to pay it. They want to pay less. They want to pay 17, you know? And this is the point that a lot of people just don't get. They can't manufacture this in their head, you know? When it comes to doing a set of nails, predominantly what you're paying for is someone's time.
Predominantly, correct.
They are trading their time for money. It's what you do when you are employed. You trade your time for money. Quite often when the staff leave, I say, thank you very much, guys, for trading your time for money today. You know, I'll make sure to pay you at the end of the month. We have a laugh and a joke about it, but that's essentially what you're doing. You're trading your time to get money. It's one trade for the next. When it comes to doing a set of nails, there's other things involved. Products, you know, but not just products, because at the end of the day, some people might look at the price of, say, a gel polish bottle at £13.50 plus VAT and think to themselves, oh, you get 50 sets out of that, so that's only costing you, I don't know, 20p. So it's only 20p to do a set of nails. Look, there's tons more overheads involved. You guys know this. I'm preaching at the choir here. You've got your rent, your electricity, your heat, especially in the winter, your cooling maybe.
Insurance.
All these little things, all the training courses you've done, all the training courses you're saving for in the future, your rainy day fund and all these sort of things. Things that you can work out on the pricing calculator. We're not here to have the pricing calculator, but it's there for you. And we have to sit and think of all these things, all the overheads. And you get to certain points and you're like, oh, let's put this in, let's put that in, A lot of people forget that there's so much more than just that 1 hour of sitting doing nails, And I think when it comes to people, like you said, there's certain types of people who they want to pay as little as possible, but want to get as much as possible as well.
I think if you've got somebody who complains about your prices, that's fine. You don't want them as a client. Yeah, they're not the type of client that you're looking for.
No. And if I'm honest with you, I hate to say it, but I've seen it with my own eyes. A lot of these people who work in these non-standard salons, not a lot, some people who work in these non-standard salons, or I'll correct myself there, might not be doing things quite above board.
Correct.
They might not be here on a proper visa.
Well, we know that there was several non-standard salons within about 100 meters, and the one at the top of the road got raided a couple of times for having.
Why I'm saying with my own eyes.
Yeah, exactly. For having people who are here illegally. Now, do you think they're being paid even minimum wage? No, probably 50% of minimum wage if you're lucky.
What you'll find is
there'll be modern day slavery going on.
It's modern day slavery. So that's the words I was looking for. What they'll have is they'll have to pay back their transportation costs to the UK. They'll have to pay the digs that they're sharing with 20, 30
or
other people.
They're not paid anything. But they get their food and they get their accommodation and they get all of those things.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, to keep them busy, you'll do a special offer. It's £17 for a set of crowns.
And we're not saying that's every non-standard salon, not at all.
No.
But it is sometimes the case, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yes, if somebody doesn't like your prices, they ain't for you. Let them go down the road with their inspo pick, which is stunning and done probably £75 set of nails, and let them show them to that, because we have every single nail tech out there has seen the result of one of these type of transactions where they've gone to the non-standard salon, they've come in, they've shown you what they've asked for, and you've gone, what in God's name?
We speak about this all the time. Like, if you're a new nail tech, the best way to gain experience is to get bums on the seats. The best way to do that, because you don't have a good repertoire, you don't have great reviews and stuff like that yet, is to offer special prices to get those people in. Mm-hmm. The problem is you're going to have Maggie who comes in and she's going to have this beautiful picture. She's going to show you as a brand new nail tech. You're going to try your goddamn hardest. Maggie's going to leave and she's going to go to the salon that she normally goes to and say, look at this state of these. What Maggie has forgotten is she's only paid £12.50 for that.
I think as long as you're really explicit that you are doing it to build up your portfolio, it's something new that you're wanting to try. You're not saying that you're really experienced it. You don't have any pictures showing that you've done it before.
Yep. But Maggie doesn't read that paragraph you've just put on Instagram. She sees special offer £12.50.
This is the problem. This is the problem.
And a lot of people, I hate to say it. The more we go through life, the less intelligent the majority of people become, because they want the easiest way. To be entertained is to swipe through TikTok. Mm-hmm. I find it myself now. If I'm not immediately entertained within 2 seconds of something, even a conversation, I switch off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes, I hate to say it, sometimes people come in and they want to have a conversation about, can we do your shipping for you? We are a great carrier and blah, blah. I emailed somebody back the other day and said, look mate, this is how much we pay for our labels and we're really happy with them. Can you do it cheaper? No. Don't bug me then. Don't bug me. You can't beat DPD or DHL or even the goddamn postman who rattles the door every 10 seconds.
This goes back to the conversation about the people that sent you the catapult.
Yeah, it does. It does. You cannot do marketing for a brand. Brands have to have in-house marketing. It's just, and again, you should be taught these things, but you're not.
Excellent.
Anyway, that was a tangent.
Yes.
Honey, the next one I can see and the next one I want to talk to everybody about, it's going to gross people out. So if you want to skip 10, 15 minutes, go for it. Do it right now. That was me fast forward in case you didn't get it. Toenail reconstruction.
Inevitably a lot more popular during the summertime when people have their titties out.
Do you want to tell them a story?
Which one?
I don't know if we've ever told the story in the pod. I think we might have.
What about our toes?
Yeah.
I'm sure we have. We've told it a million times. Long story short, during lockdown, Chris and I was just doing my toes. I wanted a specific colour and that colour was a builder gel. I am an idiot. Chris has a dodgy toenail.
Always have had.
And
used to play football when I was a kid.
The colour that I was putting on my nails anyway was nice and natural. So he's like, oh, just do that on my toe. Did it for him. Again, 2020 during lockdown.
Now, bear in mind, we were completely qualified in every single way. I've been qualified in gel polish for years. Rebecca's qualified in builder.
Yeah, but I did your toe. It has nothing to do with really anything. But
I
anyway.
know, but I'm just saying that we are qualified. So we know what we're doing.
Yes. Long story short, toenails fell off.
Yeah, literally. I said to Rebecca one day, have you seen my toenail? And she was like, what's wrong with it? And I was like, no, have you seen it? It's not attached to my foot.
So that was 2020. My toenails have never, ever come back.
Mine.
Yours is much better than mine.
Much better. I switched over to extensions to try and get it to grow. And everyone's like, wait, what? Extensions on your toe? Yes.
But
if you use like a full cover tip, yeah. If you use like a size 0, or maybe if you've got small toes, you can use less, but a size 0 will do your big toe, and that's what mine is. And Rebecca, for the most part, when she could be bothered, would put an extension on my toe, especially if we're going on holiday and stuff, you know. And it's great if you do have it like with a matte finish, it looks almost natural, you know.
Yep.
Subsequently, I found out since then that this has happened to many people.
So many people.
The funny thing is, it doesn't quite happen to your fingers as much as it does your toes. And the reason being is, for the most part, you don't look after your toes, feet, for the most part, quite as well as you do with your hands.
Well, kind of, but also not. So, in terms of builder gel, it's too hard for your toes. You should not be putting builder gel on toes. You just shouldn't. Your toes, your toenails, they go through a lot of trauma because you are standing, you're running, you're stepping, but also they're in shoes and they're getting hit off shoes as well. So that's why that tends to happen.
And also, if you buy a coffee table on demand that you want wheels on it, you will hit your toes off.
I don't hit my toes. You hit your toes.
Goddamn coffee table. I cannot
all the time. How long have we had that coffee table for?
10 years.
And he does it at least twice a week.
Let me tell you something. I know this, again, we're really off topic. My brain is scattered this week, so you're just going to have to deal with it. I'm sorry. 8% battery on my laptop. Last night, got up for a wee, come back. Daki was on my bed. Bailey was on my bed. So I had to walk all the way around the bed to get to the other side. And I didn't walk up the side of the bed. I just flopped from the bed end. But I rattled my shin off the bottom of the bed. And I remember getting into bed and thinking to myself, that's it. My leg's going to fall off. It was so goddamn sore. And I don't know if it's, you know, sometimes like because you're kind of half asleep, you're not really in the whole thing. You can't jump up and jump.
I was wondering what all the ruckus was. I did hear a ruckus.
Oh, did you?
What
you can't like jump up and jump around. You know, like normally when I kick the coffee table, I go, for goodness sakes, and stuff like that. Anyway, back to it.
Right, sorry. Back to it. So anyway, toenail reconstruction. We've kind of got off topic, but if you are doing things on toenails, do not use a builder gel over toenails. It is too harsh and toenails need flexibility. You're much better with just a normal gel polish, something like FlexiGel rubber base or hybrid gel, Synergel, something with flexibility. Anyway, what we're talking about is not really that. It is putting gel on the skin. Now, I've got in trouble for this before, and I don't care because I stand by this, and so does the scientific community as far as I can tell. If you are putting...
So what she means by into trouble is some person sent her an email that seemed to be constructive to begin with and then just babbled all the rubbish.
Some person from another brand. Anyway, irrelevant. And I have looked at all of the SDS, all of the ingredients for all of these products, and in fact, nearly ordered this product way early on when we were just looking at gel polishes ourselves years ago. Nearly ordered the product ourselves because I thought, oh, this is fantastic. Obviously, Chris and I are plagued
ideal
with toes.
candidates.
This is excellent for us. Seeing the product, and I knew this was a product that was what some other certain brands were using. And selling as this toenail reconstruction product. But when I went direct to the factory and said, look, just to confirm, you can use this on the skin. No, you absolutely should not use this on the skin. I have that in an email. I have that written down. Anyway, if you just look at the SDS yourself, you will see a lot of acrylates, a lot of methacrylates. And yes, they might have other special fantastical things in them, but that does not negate the risk of applying those uncured gels to the skin.
One doesn't outweigh the next.
One does not outweigh the other. It might have a whole heap of really fantastic other qualities, but it
goes back to, I hate to say it, some people only see the good in something, which is a great way to look at life. But when it comes to...
No. Some people only see what they want to see.
They
want to see what benefits them.
Yeah.
And this is why people are so incredibly secretive. This is something that you will find. See the nail techs that heavily advertise the toenail reconstruction. And when I'm talking about toenail reconstruction, I'm not talking about somebody putting a tip on, extending and stuff like that. That's perfectly safe. Anything as long as it's not in contact with the skin. I am talking specifically about the practice of putting wet gel adhering it onto the skin, putting it on that nail bed.
You don't have a toenail, or you have less than
I believe that all of these people that recommend it say you have to have 20% nail or whatever, okay? But
for the most part, you're putting gel on skin.
You are putting gel on skin, and you can see it in the videos, but they are all so incredibly secretive about the product that they use. And the reason I believe that to be the case is that if they tell you, you go look at the STS and you'll be like, well, hang on a minute, it's got all these things in it. And we were always taught that you shouldn't. Also, if you look at a lot of this STS, they will specifically say, if come into contact with skin, wash and rinse immediately, etc., etc.
Seek medical advice and all that.
Honestly. So yes, I just see it doing the rounds a lot recently, obviously holiday time. And as I said, I completely understand. My toenails are naked right now and I hate it. I will not even let Chris see me without socks on because I feel so horrible about them.
Is that the reason?
Yeah.
Oh, honey, I don't look at your feet.
No, but still, it just makes me really uncomfortable. So usually...
Here's another thing. This is something that I think people should maybe understand a little bit. We are in the position of manufacturing products or having products manufactured for us. Mm-hmm. So would
I not have created something that would have fixed my problem?
God, that's the point I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, I would have created...
Your job is to fix people's problems.
Yeah, exactly. There's another thing that I want to bring up about this, and this is something that I have experienced myself. So right now I don't have anything on my toes, whereas typically I would always have a full cover tip on my toe. But I've decided that I'm going to try and actively really try and repair them, spend a little bit of time trying to do that. However, do you know what happened to me recently? I've not told anybody this. So it was the last time I took them off. I've got ones that I'm sticking with press-on glue right now.
Is this when you come upstairs and you were hiding away from me and you were like, I've got something going on?
What?
Up here. A couple of weeks ago?
Oh, I was just doing my toes, yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah. I always come and do my toes in private because I don't like anyone to see it. I'm embarrassed.
But when it comes to doing my toes, you'll happily do it in the shop when customers are coming in. Just flipping wild.
Yours aren't as bad as mine. Yours is nothing on mine.
Yeah, right. That's fine. Guys, it's fine. Trauma, but it's
Anywho, when I took them off the last time, so this was like, I'd had them on for a good couple of months because the nails just don't grow. So as long as they're on, they're not growing out, right?
So you did them before the last holiday.
Exactly.
End April.
Really, really bad greenies.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And it got me a lot of thinking, right?
Got me a lot of thinking?
Got me a lot of thinking, which is that when you are doing anything like that, so even a toenail reconstruction, yes, you're applying it to the skin, but ultimately it's going to loosen from the skin and only be attached to that little bit of nail at the bottom, right? But you have created the perfect trap and breeding ground for bacteria. And especially when people are going on holidays. Because they're in the pool all the time. Obviously, every time you shower, every time you bath, you're exposing yourself to water. But more to the point, you're in and out of the pool and the sea, etc. all the time. Maybe not so much of a problem with the sea, but because the salt maybe helps. But
the pool for sure.
I mean, for sure, a breeding ground for bacteria and greenies, and that just adds to a lot of people's problems because a lot of people are plagued by this situation because of a fungal infection. Ours was obviously a trauma, slightly different, but you're only adding to the problem by essentially breeding a whole other sort of fungal infection.
I think what you have to understand as well is anytime you add a foreign body to your body, you are creating a problem. Essentially, if you do eyelashes, you can have a reaction to that. You know,
get mites as well because you don't clean them properly.
Yeah.
But it is really difficult. And as somebody who is afflicted themselves and embarrassed about, it's literally the only thing that I am like sensitive about. The only thing. It makes me feel vulnerable. I don't like it. Anywho.
A leak into how the way. All right, guys. I'm going to take pictures and just hold them against her.
No.
Yeah.
I totally understand. And if I'm on holiday, there is absolutely no way I'm going on holiday without something on. So what I would say is if you are applying anything to somebody's toes who's got this issue, encourage them to come in and get them taken off. Or make them little press-ons and give them wee glue away from them with them. They can just apply them when they need it, when they have a night out or when their toes are out. That's what I'm doing right now to keep mine most healthy. But
guys, do you know what I have? Sorry to interrupt. Just while I remember, do you know what I have in my suitcase, my travel suitcase?
Nail glue.
Nail glue.
Mm-hmm.
Get your guy to get some nail glue.
You need it for all sorts of things. You have flip-flops?
I have very old flip-flops that I will not leave and they are falling apart, so it's for that. But the amount of times you've been on holiday and you'll be like, oh, my toenail's falling off.
Yep.
And I will be like, don't worry, honey, Chris to the rescue.
Except when we were in Dubai, we had to go and source some.
That's the nail glue I've still got.
Ah, good.
There you go.
But yeah, make them little press-ons, custom little press-ons. You can measure them up, decorate them for them, sell them to them. We nail glue, and they can apply them as they wish.
Yeah.
But yes, toenail reconstruction, see it doing the rounds, obviously just for the time of year. But I am against it, and there is no safe way of doing it. And if somebody wants to show me or tell me about a fantastic product, people have tried to tell me already, and I go, yes, but what about this chemical? And they go, no, but look at these great chemicals in it. But I'm like, yes, but what about this chemical? No, it doesn't matter. Until somebody can show me otherwise, I'm not going to be here for it. That
is a great challenge.
Mm-hmm.
We challenge you guys. It's kind of like out-of-date chicken. I'll still eat it. It's fine because it's protein, but it could kill you. So there you go.
Really so unrelated.
Anyway, big brands, and I'm hoping this is big because it could be something completely else like big brands releasing at-home kits.
Yes.
This kind of reminds me of what we were just talking about there, because there was at-home kits around about that time kicking out when we were doing those toenails.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about? What are you doing? What's going on?
So doing the rounds a lot, both UK and US TikTok, is Nail Tech's talking about brands releasing at-home kits. So OPI recently released an at-home kit.
So this is a gel kit.
A gel kit.
Not just a nail polish kit.
Not just a nail polish kit. And I do think we need to remember where OPI came from. OPI came from traditional nail polishes, which was just marketed to the masses. So it's almost like they're going sort of back to their days of old a bit. You know that I don't advocate for at-home gel products at all. And brands are going to do what brands want to do. And more often than not, a brand's goal is to make that money.
Make that bank.
So they're going to do it. If they can legally do it, they're going to do it. But don't let this concern you in any way. I did a TikTok yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I've not, honey.
And I came up with the perfect analogy for at-home kits and non-professional products. If you went to a hairdresser, right? This is about a nail tech using non-professional products. So if you went to a hairdresser and you were going to get your hair coloured and you sat in front of that mirror and she whips out a box of Clairol,
yep,
you're going to be like, hang on a minute.
Yep.
Now, that hairdresser is going to apply that dye way better than you could ever do it.
100%.
Way more thoroughly, professionally, using the skills that they've learned. But that's relevant because in your mind, you're seeing a product and a service that you could have done at home and saved yourself tens, if not hundreds of pounds.
Yep.
That's what you're seeing.
Yep.
Right? So it's exactly the same for nail techs. If a nail tech whips out a gel that is for sale in Superdrug or just openly marketed to the end consumer, they're going to be like, I don't feel like I'm getting a premium service here, which is why it is so important that as nail technicians, you use professional-only products that are only available to you. It makes things just that little bit more luxury, a little bit more...
elusive type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's like why I think one of the reasons like Olaplex and stuff was like so popular because it was this, it was marketed well, it was a good product, and it was a product that was available in salons. I know they have now things that you can do at home and whatever, but it's the main product was a salon only product. It felt
premium.
Yeah, it felt premium
because it was an add-on.
Yeah,
and we spoke about this recently in a pod. I think I just actually edited that this morning. We're talking about hair salons and how they always have that add-on. They always have the extras that they can upsell at that time of that appointment. And these things, they'll market it as, you cannot get this at home. You can only get this in the salon.
Exactly.
And yeah, you're right. The at-home stuff. So let me just clarify. So the OPI stuff you're talking about, is that gel polish or is it things like build-on stuff as well?
Honestly, I have not looked into it enough.
So let me ask you this, right?
Why don't you Google it quickly?
Because
Let's have a little look.
6% battery. Let me ask you, I'll ask you this and then I'll Google search it. What was I going to ask you? How do you feel about people doing gel polish at home? Not build on everything else. Gel polish, because it's relatively, if you think about it, it's a base coat, it's 2 colour coats and a top coat.
That's irrelevant. Look at a lot of the ingredients of gel polish. Like there are brands out there, professional brands that have HEMA, HPMA, dye HEMA and IBO in it. Where we've got -4 products, they're essentially +4. So no, it just because Builder Gel is, a harder product doesn't make it less safe. That the safety aspect that we're talking about in terms of at-home use is the chemicals that people are being exposed to because they don't know how to use them and they're not keeping them away from the skin. And moreover, they're probably being undercured.
So yeah, it looks like it's gel polish. They've got a kit. They've also got lamps. Lamps are relatively inexpensive. Gel polish, I'm in America right now, it's $15.99.
Per bottle.
Per bottle, yeah. It looks to me, personally, basic.
Yeah, it's not like for professionals with a whole massive range of colours.
They have not applied a lot of effort into making the bottles look pretty and stuff like that. It is basic. So that can't be sold in the UK. But again, other brands are selling in the UK, I guess.
And do you know what? Actually, this actually goes to speak to something that right now a hot topic in Europe and the UK is the whole TPO ban that's coming. And people are
it's just misunderstood.
People are so misunderstanding of it. Number one, if you're in the UK, it does not affect you at all, whatsoever. At this point in time, there may be plans in the future. No dates have been announced, nothing at all. Does not affect you. But in different countries, they have different regulations. So in America, where that kit is being sold, they will have different regulations to what we have here. Here in the I can't speak to the regulations of any other countries other than the UK. And obviously I know about the TPO in Europe. I know about the regulations in Europe because generally they're shared regulations and also we sell to Europe.
Yeah.
The products that contain HEMA cannot be sold to non-professionals in the UK, same as products that contain dihema. Each of those products in the UK have a restricted percentage use as well, 35% in HEMA, 99% in dihema, I believe. TPO had a restricted percentage of use. I think that was 5%. Most brands are using it in percentages around 0.1%. A lot of other products that you use in the beauty industry, they have percentages that can be used. The active ingredient in perms and traditional lash lifts, as an example, they've got restricted use. Lots of different chemicals in lots of different cosmetics have restricted uses in terms of their percentage and who can use them. It just very much depends on the country. So I think that's just a really important thing to bring up. And given the TPO thing that is going on right now, a little bit of nail news as well, it's not going to affect the majority of you who are listening or watching. It will only affect those of you who are based in Europe. And if you want to read more about that, go and read our Nail Knowledge blog.
On the app, on the Nail Order app.
Yes.
Also, one thing you guys need to understand is we do all that work in the background so you don't need to think about it. We take all that on board. So we will get to a certain date and we will stop selling certain products to Europe if we still have them on our shelves. We're working hard to not have them on our shelves, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really affect us here in the UK.
It doesn't. Our sales to Europe are a small percentage of what we do. It makes sense for us to work towards having a sort of unified product where it can be sold anywhere without any issues. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
But really, it affects us. It doesn't really affect you guys.
Yes.
And we will always keep you guys safe.
I think that the unfortunate fact is that there was some scaremongering marketing done by certain brands last year. And I really, really didn't like what people did. I thought that was really terrible, actually.
Backhanded.
Yes. And we've never had TPO in our
gel polish,
top coats, base coats, etc., etc., etc. It's in a relatively small percentage of our products. TPO is not being banned because of any risks in terms of reaction, anything like that.
Also, what you have to understand, TPO is a photo initiator. It is not necessarily a chemical that is within the. Well, of course, it's a chemical within the product, but it's not like it's been used in gel products ever since it started. But even before that, right? It's been used as a photo initiator.
The reason that TPO is so widely used is because it was the most efficient photo initiator, most efficient in terms of cure speed, cure thickness.
You could use it in small percentages.
And it's less yellowing. You can use it in small percentages. So when I'm saying that we have it in our products, and remember I said about the safe percentage being up to 5%, we have 0.1%, teeny tiny, in it. So the reason that it's being banned, just long story short, is there was a study done in Europe some years ago on male rats, and it was male rats' reproductive systems. The rats were fed the human equivalent of what would be 504 pots of our Duragel for 10 every day for 10 days, as I believe off the top of my head. The details are in my blog. And it was shown to affect the reproductive organs of the male rats.
So let's just think about that.
There is no current human element involved in this, but obviously we do a lot of testing. Well, not us personally, but as in humans do a lot of testing on rats too.
Yeah. And you've got to think to yourself, how the heck does somebody come up with this? What are they
How
smoking?
do they? Like, why?
What are they
We should
smoking to
not
think?
ever be eating. These products shouldn't come in contact with our skin, full stop. Never mind being eaten. So the way, as long as they are used properly and by professionals, there should be no way for them to be absorbed by the body.
Honey, look, see when it gets to 2 o'clock and the staff are, on that kind of lull, we all do shots of Duragel at the back just to get ourselves on the go.
But as long as you're not having 504 pots a day.
No, just one.
And specifically you and Cameron and Rafi and Christopher.
Yeah.
The guys with testicles.
I used to have testicles. No, I don't. Just like Dacky. So it's hard because see, trying to explain this to someone, do you know what it is? People do this. People do stupid things. They jump on the bandwagon to try and sell their product, but what they're not doing is they're not making their product better. They're just telling you it's not got this.
Yeah, essentially what they're doing is tearing somebody else down to bring themselves up, and that is never, ever, ever good.
It's not good for them. It's not good for the industry.
But going back to home use kits, never see it as a threat as a nail technician. Any client worth their salt. No, if you've got regular clients, they're not ever going to think, oh, do you know what? Actually, I saw that I could just start doing them from home, because they know fine well they're not going to be able to do a job as good as you. Nobody ever thinks to themselves, do you know what? I can do my hair as well as a hairdresser. Nobody ever thinks that. No, you think that?
This guy. The amount of times we've got like some sort of DIY thing done, and I think
you're not going to be able to cut your hair as well as a hairdresser, are you?
No.
Well, there you go.
Okay, you're right. Because I can't see the back. But the amount of times I've looked at a job that someone's done and thought to myself, Christ, I could do that.
But do you know why that is more often than not? Because you're looking for the cheapest person to do it, and they may not be the best, thus proving the point.
Honey, let's talk about photo initiators. Let's continue to talk about photo initiators. Do you remember when we were taking TPO out a lot of our products and putting some other product in that is a photo initiator? And I made a video about this time last year, and it was actually on TikTok, it was called Spicy Gel.
Spicy.
Spicy Gel, because of the amount of heat spikes I was getting, because we were trialing new products. Tried on Chris, not on rats. Tried on us, not on animals. So I want to talk to you right now, because I actually know that this is a big thing, because the customer service girls keep going on about it. Heat spikes.
Yes, and this is, as a nail brand, right? As a gel brand, every season comes with its challenges.
Of course.
And in the summer, the challenge is heat spikes. In the winter, the challenge tends
Cold
to be
gels.
Retention, because people's nails are really dehydrated.
Yes, yes.
And then the gels are maybe a bit thicker because they're a bit cold, and you're not getting that good contact between the natural nail and the brush. So yes, right now I see lots of people talking about, not specific to our brand, but as a brand we are obviously affected by it, heat spikes.
I love, so there's an email come through the other day and I just happened to look at it, and it said, first of all said, issue with your lamp, I've not changed the way I do anything.
Yeah, so this is actually, I think, the one I'm still thinking of, right? So this nail tech was doing the same customers, using the same products, the same technique, using the same lamp.
Yep.
Is it the one that you're thinking about? So she'd been using her lamp for a while, and then all of a sudden started experiencing heat spikes? Yes. So what is the only variable?
Yeah.
The lamp's the same, the product's the same, the customers are the same. What's the only variable? The environment. The environment is different. It's hotter. It's warmer. Our bodies are warmer. The gel's at a higher starting temperature. And I did mine, I'm going to be completely honest, because I always am. I did my nails the other day. I never have heat spikes. Did a few nails the other day up here, and I got really bad heat spikes.
Yep. Again, up here, podcast studio, it's elevated, it's a little bit higher up. It's definitely a lot warmer than in here.
There's no windows. It's a closed room. As you say, heat rises, so it's hotter up here. It's incredibly humid outside right now. So humid right now. So humid, like you feel wet all the time.
Florida.
Really bad. So it's warmer. My body is a higher starting temperature. But that gel that I'm using is also at a higher starting temperature. Yet that gel has to undergo the exact same chemical reaction as if it was cold.
Yep.
So that chemical reaction produces heat, an exothermic reaction. It produces a certain amount of heat, and it has to produce that exact same amount of heat regardless of whether the gel is cold or whether it is hot. So let's imagine that gel is starting at
20 degrees Celsius.
Let's say it's starting at 16 degrees. Let's just pick a number out there. Let's say the gel's starting at 16 degrees, and it has to undergo, it's going to be completely dependent on the gel, but let's say it's going to undergo 15 degrees of exothermic reaction. Maybe let's say 15 degrees, right? So now it's gone from 16 degrees to 31 degrees.
See, she's counting on the pod.
Also, you have to take into that consideration as well when we are doing these sort of numbers, my body temperature as well. Now let's imagine that the gel is starting at 26 degrees and it still has to undergo that 15 degrees worth of chemical reaction. The now top temperature of that gel is 41 degrees. So you can see how much of a difference that makes.
Yeah.
There is also a cutoff that it's like anything. There's a tipping point. There's a tipping point where you can. I was reading something about it recently, and it was to do with nerve endings and certain temperatures.
It's where you can feel it versus
where you can feel it versus where you can't. Where it's not. A lot of that is going to be to do with your body temperature as well. And as soon as it gets a certain percentage over that, you can feel it all of a sudden. So there's going to be literally a degree where you can feel it and where you can't.
It's like when you put your hands into one bowl of cold water, one bowl of hot water, and then you put both hands into the same temperature and you feel it completely differently.
That's a really good way
because the temperature of where your hands are completely different.
It's a really good way of putting it. So yes, if your customers are the same, your gel's the same, your lamp is the same, you've changed absolutely nothing, you have to look at the only variables. What is variable? What is changing or changed? The temperature outside. Yeah. And it's something that we will go through every single year, and I'm sure all brands will go through it, and I see it all the time on TikTok and forums and things like that. Not necessarily rated to the nail order, but you just got to deal with it, guys.
And I'll tell you something. See that day that we did that spicy video? It was baking hot, and that's why we went and did that, because we were actually building this podcast studio and it was too hot up here, and we were like, let's call it a day, like 4, we went downstairs and you were like, come on, I'll do some testing on you with this new product. And at that very point in time, that's when you come up with the thermal bulb.
Was it then?
Yep, you said, I need something to cool the gels.
So
that's what it was, because you knew on that day, because I kept getting heat spikes, even on the one where nobody else was getting heat spikes the week before.
So, and I remember when I got my very first ThermoPro sample, the person I tested it on was Jennifer. Jennifer has some of the most sensitive nails in terms of temperature ever. Doesn't matter with, doing other things, prep and stuff. In terms of temperature, she is out of everybody here, she is the most sensitive for sure. So I did tests where I'd cooled it right down, did it on her, and she was like, yeah, absolutely nothing. Didn't cool it. And she's like, oh, hot. And that's what made me realise that this is exactly what we need. And the whole point of the ThermoPro is not to make a cold gel or a warm gel. It's to get the gel to its ambient temperature. 18 to 20 degrees is what we're looking at for ambient temperature. As soon as you get above that or below that, you're going to start having issues, whether it's with heat spikes, whether it was with application.
It's just like if you jump in a car, think about it. If it's 25 degrees outside, you jump in a car, it's going to be warm. If it's 0 degrees outside, you jump in a car, it's going to be cold. The air conditioning within your car is just to bring it up to a temperature where you're comfortable to drive.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And that's really what you're trying to do with this gel. You're not trying to make it super warm to make it runny or super cold to make it thick.
Yeah. And that's the reason that we have Duragel available in different viscosities.
Yeah.
To suit different people, rather than using the ThermoPro to change the viscosity, which is not what it's designed for. It is simply designed for getting those gels to an ambient temperature, especially in places like the UK where we don't have forced air or air conditioning. We run on central heating and we don't have any air conditioning. So
if in the summertime it is warm here in the UK, we feel it.
In the UK, in the US, people in the US probably thinking like, what are you guys talking about? You have a pretty constant temperature.
You just set your thermostat on the wall to say 68 degrees and it's just always there.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if it's really hot outside or really cold outside. Inside is always the same. Yeah. We do not have that luxury generally here. Because
we don't feel the heat. Well, we don't get the heat as much, but we do get cold winters. So we have radiant heat, which, if I'm honest with you, I hate. I hate it.
I prefer it. Forced air dries out my nose. I don't like it.
I think you get used to the forced air.
No, I don't. I've never got used to it. It makes me ill, I think. I never get ill unless we go on holiday.
It's very true. Mm-hmm. So yeah, heat spikes, it's nothing you're really doing. It is just the elements, and those heat spikes will subside.
What can you do to reduce them? Use your gel in thin layers. Ensure you use low heat mode. What you can do is get the client to pop their hand in for 10 seconds. First 10 seconds, remove their hand for around 5 seconds and then go back in again.
So what's that doing? That's slightly cooling it, bringing it back out. It slows down the reaction.
It's just slowing down. Other things I've seen people do is creeping their hand into their client's hand into the light.
Yes, doesn't work. Try that.
But yeah, just lots of different things that you can do. But when we are working with products that produce an exothermic reaction, it's just something that we have to put up with. Acrylic, believe it or not, people get spicy nails.
And that's hair dry, right?
It is air dry, but it polymerizes, so it still produces a thick.
One thing I will say is we ham on about about using really good lamps. With those really good lamps, they generate more energy.
They do.
So, for instance, right now last week we had a deal on our Lumi Spark, which is our lower price model because it doesn't have a battery. It's corded, but it's still like if you're going from say a lesser quality lamp to one of them, the difference is night and day. The amount of energy it's producing is night and day. So it's curing those gels, like it's doing this job.
It's doing the job it's meant to do. Whereas a lot of the low quality, cheaper, generic ones, they're not actually doing the job, guys. So great, you're not getting heat spikes, but you're also not getting fully cured gel.
Yeah.
I feel like I would like to do a whole episode on equipment as well and how long you should be keeping your equipment for and things like that. I've seen some really scary things when people sharing their pricing calculator things recently.
Yep.
Like about keeping lamps for 4 years. Doesn't matter what lamp you've got. It doesn't matter if it's a Lumi Spark. It doesn't matter if it's a generic lamp from Amazon. You should not be keeping any lamps for 3 or 4 years, guys.
Something that is changing the form of liquid, for instance, from liquid to a solid. Like you need to ensure that is consistently working well, and you can't guarantee that.
Yep. And I'm going to keep saying this, the most important piece of equipment that you own as a nail tech is your lamp. It isn't your cuticle pushers. It isn't the gels that you're going to use to do the job. It isn't anything else. It is the lamp. You should have a backup lamp.
Yeah.
Number one. And you should have a good quality lamp. If you don't have a good quality lamp, at a minimum, replace them very, very frequently.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, I don't want to sell you lamps. That's not what we're in this game for. We want to sell you gels.
Yeah.
You know? But it's just the gels don't work without the lamp. You need a good quality lamp. So for us, it doesn't even make sense for us to keep lamps on the bloody shelves. 3% battery, honey. We're at 56 minutes, so we're going to probably need to start thinking about wrapping this pod up.
Wow, the pressure, guys. So that means we're not going to be able to do our second episode today, but we're going to have to go and do all the other things that we need to do.
Do you want to tell people what we're doing today? Because that was going to be my next question. On a summer holiday?
No. You are trying to work out a way to fit some more packing stations in, so we're going to have a little look at that, but also we might have a think about moving that booth upstairs and getting the stuff away from the top. We need to have a little look.
We're on the move, guys. If you don't know, we moved into our new office. I will say that it is messy already. Most of that's because the puppies were in yesterday and everyone was playing with them, so there's toys everywhere. It looks like a creche. I will say I am happy to be in there now. I feel like I've got a little bit of room. Bagabones used to sit to my right and she would move all of her stuff ever so slightly to the left towards me when she was done with it. She wouldn't go put it away. And by done with it, I'm talking about cans of energy drinks, boxes of pasta, all these sorts of things.
Does love an empty can, doesn't she?
She loves it. Yeah.
Does. Yes, we've all got our own space. It is much better. I do need those monitors built as well.
I'll do that for you, honey.
God, there's
I
so
feel
many
like
things.
it's just never ending. Do you know I'd really love? Just to sit down and watch the Formula 1 today at 3 p.m. Do you think that's possible?
There were Formula Ones on tomorrow.
Oh no, honey. It's Spa, so it's sprint weekend.
So
I was watching the sprint qualifying yesterday. We have sprint race today and qualifying for tomorrow. It's 2 races today.
Don't look so excited about
I'm really excited. Christian messaged me the first thing this morning. It's sprint holiday, man. It's sprint day, man.
Sprint holiday?
Sprint.
Did you say sprint holiday?
Sprint quali day, but that was yesterday. Sprint day today.
Okay.
Right, my laptop is screaming at me to get out here at 3% still.
Okay.
So we're going to do some content stuff for Laura and Safira because they're far too busy when they're in to do it themselves, aren't they?
Sure.
I wasn't a dig. But they didn't record the pod last week and I'm angry about it.
And I'm just saying, guys, we've managed almost a full year and we have never, ever dropped an episode.
And this goddamn podcast is free, so do me a favour. Grab a screenshot of it, share it to your stories on Instagram. Nail on Sunday, tag us there, and you might win me a chance to win.
We do need to
smackaroonies.
We do need to release the next winner. Did we do a winner?
I did. Did it start of the month? Did I contact them? No.
You've not contacted them. Did you
No.
tag them?
Nope. Sorry about that. But
Can we maybe sort that out today?
Yeah,
what was their name?
You need to go back and watch the first YouTube video that happened this July.
Good.
Can please somebody, Alex, Karina, can one of you guys take over the social media because I don't want to do it anymore. I'm too busy.
Excellent.
I'm too busy. I've got a lot of stuff on my plate that's coming up over the next couple of months, if you know, you know. Anyway, on that note, honey, my watch is telling me to stand up. Do you want to get us the heck out of here?
As always, guys, if you enjoyed that, give us a thumbs up. Be sure to comment below what we should talk about next. Have a lovely day and make sure you subscribe.
Soon to be a long Sunday, all the tea getting spilled. Nail text, talking game, keeping it real, y'all gon' feel. From the signs to the drama, every secret they reveal. Stay sharp, stay tuned, man, you know it's the deal.